Okay, so in the previous videos, you have deployed the pods, but in this one, we'll be deploying it using something called Replication Controller, which actually supports HA and scalability. What Replication Controller does in short is that whatever the state you define as the current state, it will try to keep that as a desired state. So don't confuse yourself with the word replication. It doesn't mean it's trying to replicate anything. It's think of it from the perspective of state. So it is on the basis of we'll deploy the pods now on the basis of manifest methods because there is no CLI for that. And people like myself who are still learning YAML, they will Kubernetes has given them a running example already. So if I quickly go to my kubernetes.io page, go to documentation, and if I just use this word called replication controller, um, you will see a lot of documentation, but I don't want to read all of them. I'll just click on the first one, and there is a sample YAML configuration which I'll use for my deployment. I'll copy that and run it on my master node, which I'll just show you. So that's the file which I copied. And if I just quickly show you, I've removed some of the lines, like I don't need to talk about ports and containers because that's related to networking. Um, I'll try to cover up most of it in this one. So this is my file, and if I try to run this file, you will see how it works. So I can use kubectl apply. Apply includes the create command, or I can use create. Apply is usually used when you modify the file and want to apply. Um, that's the command, and I'll just say, if I just show you, so it has created, as it says, it has created two replicas. These ones, it has taken the name as Nginx because that's the name of the container defined over here. The label is app is equal to web because that's being defined. So whatever we have defined over here, it has been done. Now, if I quickly kubectl delete pod and just pick up one of the containers and try to delete that, it is deleting it, it says, and if I just show you, it starts creating also. So that's the functionality of HA, and it is in running states. So that's the functionality of HA, right? To see the controller I created, it's over here, and just to see my pods where they are running on node 1 and node 2. Again, if I try to delete, I'll just show you one more time. If I try to delete any of the pods, you will see it gets created quickly. Deleting it, and if I just show you, it's running back again, 3 seconds back. From the age you can determine, right? Just one important thing. Is there a downtime? Yes, there is a downtime. The pod gets deleted, and whatever time it takes to bring that pod up on the other worker node, that's the time it takes. So there is a downtime. And is this scaling horizontal or vertical? This is horizontal because we are creating more pods, irrespective of vertical, where we give more power CPU to a particular pod, which we'll cover later. So if I make a change in my quickly file, insert, and if I just say 6, will it take the change? No, I'll just show you, it is not. But if I'll have to apply that to make it understand, so now it is there, right? So if I just show you, it was creating the containers and now they're in running state. That's the difference. Is there a command for which I don't have to want to go again and again into the YAML file and make the change? Um, and I just want it to make sure that it runs, it takes the command from outside. Yes, I can do that. Um, so that's the command kubectl scale replica 1. It means I'm just saying make just one copy of the pod, and if it's scaled down, right? So that's how you do it. But again, that's a manual way. Now I created, let's say in your environment, you have many pods. I created a pod test one using the old method, not using the RC. You would see one of the pod is running the RC way and the other one is test. But how would we identify? The first way is that the naming conventions, if you look at the naming convention, it is already there. But is there a command also? Yes, there is a command. So that's the command. If I run kubectl describe pod, the pod name and grep for the word controller, you will see it's actually control. There is a replication controller. Um, and if I run the same command for the machine which I created without using RC, then there is no response, right? Another interesting thing, if I kubectl delete RC and Nginx, if I delete the RC, everything is gone except the one which I created manually, right? Now, there is a misconception. So I don't have a pod running right now, and this is my RC file. It has 6 replicas, and then I have applied it, which means that there should be 6 pods running. But if I delete the YAML file, does it delete my pods? Let's check that. No, it doesn't. But my YAML file is gone. So if I just show you, it was running here, but it's not there. Now, is there a process? Is there a way I can actually fetch that? Yes. The API functionality caches it, and we can recover it from there. How do we do that? There is a command to that for that. So since it is running in the cache, I can run the command kubectl get rc replication controller. You need to put the name of the replication controller. You can get the name from here, nginx, output as YAML, and make a new file, right? So if I hit enter, do a ls and cat the new file, you would see all my information there. Yes, it will add its own other information because that's the command does. It uh, applies rest of the things, right? Now let's say I have lost this one also. Now if I delete this one, and if I just quickly show you, did something happened to my pods? No, nothing. But is there a way I can still, if I show you ls, it's not there. Since it is caching, um, we can either run that command, or we can go directly to the etcd service. So I'll just say kubectl edit rc, rc nginx, and that's where you can get the information what you are running, right? Cool. This concludes our HAN scalability options. As the course moves forward, I'll cover more and more about scalability. In the next one, we'll talk about labels, selector, application rollout, and rollback. Thank you.